Hello, I'm Congressman Brad Sherman from California's best named city, Sherman Oaks. I'm pleased to once again join my good friends at the Free Iran World Conference as you come together to advocate for a free, democratic, and nuclear-free Iran. I've long been a vocal proponent of these efforts. That's why my colleague Tom McClintock and I, along with 160 members of the U.S. House of Representatives, reintroduced our resolution condemning the regime's horrific human rights abuses. I'm the chief Democratic sponsor of that resolution, House Resolution 100, which expresses support for the Iranian people's desire for a democratic, secular, and non-nuclear Republic of Iran. And that bipartisan resolution also condemns the violations of human rights and state-sponsored terrorism committed by the Iranian regime. We now have 238 bipartisan co-sponsors of that resolution. I join you today as the Iranian people continue their resistance against the brutal regime responsible for the murder of Mahsa Amini, as I have long joined with you to advocate for a free, democratic, and nuclear-free Iran. And I also stand with the brave Iranian women and men risking their lives to fight for the future in cities all across Iran. The regime's violent crackdown against protesters and anyone who dares dissent has led to the horrific killing of over 500 innocent protesters, many of whom were teenagers and even children. Tens of thousands have been arrested, and some have been sentenced to death. The regime's legacy of murdering dissidents is nothing new and has been used as a tactic for decades to stifle the Iranian people's desire to fight for freedom. The recent poisonings of schoolgirls inflicted even more suffering on the Iranian people. Since November, thousands of victims across the country have been stricken. While it's not clear who or what was behind these terrible incidents, the Ayatollah's regime, their open segregation of women in public life, and their practice of brutal violence against women of Iran certainly sends a message to the perpetrators that their behavior will be tolerated, that women can be targeted with impunity, just the way Mahsa Amini was targeted. But the regime's violence will not undermine the resolve of the Iranian people to continue demanding their freedom and their basic dignity. Congress stands with these protesters who are inspiring the world with their bravery. We must also work with the government of Albania and the U.S. State Department to ensure the safety of the residents of Camp Ashraf. Our nation's diplomats were instrumental in bringing about the resettlement of Ashraf from Iran and Iraq to Albania. And we have a duty to ensure that those residents are secure and that Albania will not be coerced by any country or group to take unjustified actions. I share your dream of a free Iran, an Iran where the Iranian people can make their voices heard without the threat of imprisonment, torture, rape, and execution by an evil regime. As an Iran where women are free to choose how they dress and people are free to choose their own government. An Iran where Mahsa Amini and countless other women like her would still be alive. That's why for decades I've worked to sanction this brutal regime and its accomplices. As the Iranian people continue courageously to fight for their freedom, the United States Congress and the United States people must be unwavering in our support for their fight. I will continue to stand with you until the Iranian people can fulfill their right to freedom and democracy. Thank you. I'm Congressman Brad Sherman.